every show is interesting and different because each show has a different lineup of comedians that are a mix of different cultural backgrounds.
That's the goal for every single Planet Comedy show that is put on before and in the future, to see if we can get as diverse of a lineup every single time. So Planet Comedy was born from an idea from Christina Pandis, who wanted to create a venue for comedians with international backgrounds to tell their stories and share their experiences with essentially growing up in America or living in America.
When you look at the cultures they come from are so different than your own culture, but the experience are so relatable. And that's what we see in each and every show. That it's in one way very unique and particular to that country, in other ways very relatable.
San Jose set a world record on Cinco de Mayo for most Mexicans waving a Mexican flag that can't speak Spanish. I do my best not to be a stereotype. I really do. Like I work for Magna. I was up on Magna. Y'all remember Magna, right? Mexicans always get across. Magna, that's it.
It's me bringing them on stage with me, and then just having fun with them. That energy, you can't get that other than in live entertainment. I think it's probably even different than a singer, you know, or even a theater thing. Like, this is where it's me and it's them, and either they're there with me or they're not.
Like, I don't smoke weed. Y'all smoke weed? Yeah, no, I don't smoke weed. I do cocaine like a real man. That's right. So your rabbit marijuana's for kids, all right?
That's always something that's a part of me, like how I grew up, like where I'm from, and my background. I kind of represent a few different parts of the world. I was born in the US, and my background is Venezuelan and Hungarian. So that's been an interesting part to explore. So apparently my parents didn't get the memo that I should have been tall, dark, and handsome. Instead I turned out pale and pasty. But that's okay. When I tell my mom, people always say, like, oh, you don't look like you speak Spanish. They're like, that's okay. Elizabeth, you're like a churro that wasn't fully baked. And they just missed the cinnamon. You're still tasty and delicious, just different. And when people hear, oh, there's a comic on the show from Venezuela, they're expecting a sexy Latina from a telenovela, but then they get me and they're like, oh, it's just Karen from accounting.
I think the more authentic you are, I'm a New York Jew, grew up in New York, been out here 30 years. My wife is Chinese, our family's Jewish, my sister-in-law is African American, so our whole family is the UN. And it also gives you an opportunity to kind of lay some groundwork and then cover everybody, and the audience is more accepting if you talk about different cultures, as they tend to belong to you already. So that's who we are, surviving in New York, in Brooklyn and Queens, and then coming out here and background in engineering. Talking about those experiences is really that's what your audience relates to. So it's all about just being yourself, be authentic, be genuine. And I find the truth and life is far funnier than anything you can make up.
I love those commercials for Christian Mingle. One, because my people, Jennifer, we have J-Date. J-Date. Because it can never be Jew Mingle. It's like Jew Mingle. No, Jew. Yes. Jocelyn Mingle.
So I am an immigrant myself, and I grew up in Europe, and I feel like a lot of us that either grew up in another country or were raised in another culture here in the US, or maybe even just spent some time living in another country, we have an interesting perspective of life in the US especially, and some life experiences that are unique, that I wanted to create a platform for comedians to share those life experiences that are in so many ways relatable, but in other ways very unique.
Inside, I'm like,
but I'm from Eastern Europe. This is as excited as they allow us to be.
I'm so Chinese I took a 23andMe test, my results came back in a fucking fortune cookie, you know? A lot of Asian people, they all be like, hey Sebastian, you shouldn't joke about bad driving. Like, you know, that's a bad stereotype. And I'm like, hey, it's okay, AI's coming, self-driving cars, let's get rid of our, you know, our bad stereotype. AI's never gonna help white people dance, right?
If the audience could take away something from tonight, I would just encourage anyone listening to have a good time, have fun, and just enjoy the show with me, the rest of the comics, and Christina.
I think that I'm a Latino trying to break those stereotypes, even though there are stereotypes that match, of course, but that it's worth coming to see me, it's worth paying, whether it's $5 or $100, that it's worth it because I'm here giving myself as much as I can to you because I want you to go home like having a great experience, that I transported you to a different type of vibe, a different type of fun.
If I could have the audience take away one thing, it would be that, you know what, we're all in this together and we're all struggling, and if we could look at the world and find some things that we could laugh at, number one, ourselves, number two, sometimes the crazy situations that are going on around us, we're gonna be all right.